I always like to have a look at a different make, and I saw these two on eBay. I think they're from the same seller, and the thing about them is that they are called Mehano. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've never seen Mehano. I've heard of them, but this is the first time I've actually had them. And not only that, I've got two of them. Hi there YouTubers, welcome to another servicing video from R182 and on the bench tonight I have two Sant Fe F7s and they're made by Mehano. Don't know what's wrong with them, never seen them before. They just look like ordinary Sant Fe's, but I'm sure there'll be subtle differences. First thing I notice is this horn, this horn here is broken. The other two are okay. Seem to be in different arrangements of what I've seen previously with the other makes. Looking at them underneath, obviously this is the drive bogie and this will probably be just the pickup bogie, and it's the same for both of them. Couplers intact at the front. No cow catcher in this particular body, it's incorporated into the bogie. To remove them, well, there seems to be two clips on each side, so it'll just be a case of separating the body. So let's just do this. And there we have, oops, that bit there came out, don't know what it belongs to. There's a body weight, little underpowered motor, oops. And I noticed that the connection spring between the motor, the drive bogie, has come adrift. Would that be all that's required? There's also a wire flapping around, or it could be someone's had a go at it. Never a good sign. Okay, let's take the second machine. Open it up, there's the body weight. Oh, and here's that little clip that fell out. It's a motor retaining clip. Yep, that explains that bit. Again, a very light looking motor. And again, look at this spring here. Can you see that? The spring should connect these two. So I'm just going to move that, put that out of the way. And wires intact in this one, so that will let me build up the machine. So the drive bogie is this one here at the rear, and the pickup bogie at the front with the simulated cow catcher. Right, just check the motor turns, and the motor turns. Okay, I think I'll get some power on these and see if I can make them run. And you probably notice I'm going to work on these as a pair because they're from the same manufacturer, probably the same seller. They're both mine now anyway, so I can do what I like with them. So here we go. Apply power here, and the motor's alright. This one, and the motor's certainly healthy enough. Now here's another strange thing. If I look at these chassis, there's a little, like half of a loop here, which certainly looks as if there should have a matching arm on this side, so that's been broken off. And this I think would be a motor retaining clip. So when I examine the second chassis, you could probably see right away there's this huge gap in the chassis, and these two loops are both missing. So someone has definitely been having a go at these. I had a quick check, they're not inside the housings. So this one here, probably destined for the scrap bin, because I don't know if I want to spend some time trying to repair this. We'll see how it goes at the end of the fix. This one also has the broken wire onto the drive bogie. I think I'll just leave this one aside and concentrate on the one which is, as far as I can see, almost complete. Right, my next step then, I'm going to take away this gearbox cover, which should just simply unclip from here. I want to be careful I don't break these pins. Plenty of grease inside, that's good. And this is the drive gear there, and in here you've got brass bearings, and there's probably some washers as well. So they don't look too bad. The turret pin holding the bogie onto the chassis, and then I'll have to ease this off because the wires are attached to the bogie and they don't usually give you a lot of leeway. But otherwise it doesn't look too bad, it looks clean, and I don't know how good this is. The gears seem to turn fairly enough, so a little bit of lubrication, we should be okay with that. At this time, when you can't find anything drastically wrong, you start to wonder what was the problem. So I'll just keep going and see if anything turns up. I thought I'd try and fit the motor in, didn't fit very well. And then this happened. I didn't break it, I can assure you, it just bent. So this has been subject to a lot of force by some uncouth person. So what can I do here? Well, I think the best solution would be try and apply a bit of glue, leave it to set for a few days, and then see if I can get this together again at some time. And Mehano, so far I'm not impressed. Do you have any experience with these? First time I've ever got them, I think it'll be the last. What do you think of the show so far? Rubbish. In the way these things often happen, it's been a few weeks since I left aside my little Mehano F7. I glued the sides, you might remember the splits. I wrapped it round with a rubber band to give it a bit of tension and left it aside, and it's been like that for the last few weeks. So just like a surgeon removing bandages for the first time, I'm going to remove the rubber band to see what we have. There's a split here, bit of tension on the board, and that looks pretty firm. With a split down the side here, and that's held. So maybe I could get my Mehano up and running. I've also cleaned and lubricated the mechanism of the bogie, and we know that the motor runs. I've got the spring. This is a rear motor support loop, and there should be a complementary pair. One of them is broken off, so I may have to resort to 3D printing, but we do have the front clip, so that might get us going. Other than that, yeah, I think there's nothing more to do but build the little locomotive up. A lot, try again. A lot of locomotives of this style have this wire that goes from the front bogie to the motor to the rear bogie, but they're usually single piece. The centre piece has been stripped clean, that solders onto the motor, then the other end is fed through this aperture and connected onto the bogie here. So to give myself a bit of room for working, I'm going to connect the bogies first, then I'll connect the motor. I think there'll be a lot more leeway in the wires. So I'm making sure that I connect the right side of the front bogie with the right as in correct. I'll just check I've done that. Yep. And also similarly here, that this side, the front bogie, is connected to this side of the rear bogie. There's an idler wheel fits in. Just a little dash of oil if I can find it. Yep, here we go. Oh. That will work its way through the gears. This fits into the turret and then held in place by the ubiquitous turret pin. And the wee jiggle, and there it is. So turning that turns the wheels. The motor is fitted in so that these tags go into this little gap, and behind the missing rear clip, front clip fits over the collar, and that should clip into place there. Oops. Let's clip into place there. Come on, let me get, that's it. And I think that would be sufficient to hold the motor. And I've just forgotten something. This plate here. Right, let me just take this out again. Move the motor. This plate fits underneath. Now, I think it's magnetic. Maybe not. Anyway, let's put this back in again. And at this point I've forgotten to take note of which way round the motor came out, so if it goes backwards when I expect it to go forward, I'll simply take it out and turn it upside down. Right, fit the clip in again. Needs a little bit of pressure, so be careful with weak points. And that's it held in. And now I can feed the wires through and connect them to the motor. And the other thing I should have done is connect the lower one, and that's chassis split again. That's an outtake. I thought this bit had given way, but actually it's a separate brake. Just behind the collar. Let me just bring the camera in a little bit there, and let's see if we can see this. you can see the mark of the original repair there, and then this bit went. So this here, I've produced a weak spot along that chassis, and that corresponds to the other chassis, which you may remember had that section missing. Now that explains it. Right, I shall bear that in mind. So what can I do? Well, I'm going to try and re-glue this. This time I'm going to use some Gorilla. Yep. So I'll just drop a couple of drops into the gap. Agitate them around a little bit so they soak in. And I shall be leaving that, so I'll apply my rubber band bandage again, carefully, maybe one end at a time. Yeah, over the back, hold it there, pull it over the front, and that's going to have to get left aside once more. Wires and load, there we go. So, I don't know if this will be worth it, but I'm going to keep going until there comes a point where I say that is enough. Now we're getting near the time of truth. I've wired the soldered pickup leads to the motor according to my note, and the one on the top goes to the right hand pickup as we look at it, which is this one, and the one on the sorry, I've got it upside down, there we go. The one on the top goes to the right hand of the machine, the one on the bottom goes to the left hand of the machine. This little plate sits in the base in there, and so the motor will simply sit. Oh, and I stressed this wire and it's come off. Right, just let me resolder that. Right, now I can try and fit the motor. This spring has to be fitted over the end of this connector, and there's a little groove. There's a wire support bar should fit in there, and that should fit in nicely. Ease it under, or that plate's moving. The plate is being magnetized by the motor and keeps getting in the way. Right, and then there is this U-clip which fits over the end of the motor housing and should just click in there, making sure I don't put too much pressure on it, and that's holding pretty well. Now there is of course supposed to be a reciprocal arch here, but I'm going to try and get away without it for the time being. So that seems all in. My next task is apply power and see if this will run. So, have we got a working Mehano? Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. From the front. I'm sorry, that's the back, that's the front. Oh right. Right, let me just set up my rolling road and we'll see what happens then. Right, let's have a wee go. Again, a few voltage, oops. Oh, look at that. Right away. Oh, there it goes. Oh yes. Maybe I misjudged this little Mehano to begin with. So the wheels, the rollers are going that way, so the locomotive's going that way, which is a positive direction. Excellent. And then I can just turn it round, and then we'll go the opposite direction. There we go. Oh, that's okay. It's probably my rolling road. Yep, definitely my rolling road. It's been a while since I used it, so probably outside on the track. But yep, that's definitely going, and you may not see it, but the lamp is lighting too. So my next stage would be to put it onto my test track, and we'll let it run round and see, just see what happens. But I think we've got a working Mehano F7, and the casing will just simply sit on top. I've got a weight to put in. I've also got the gearbox cover to fit, so I'll get that done, and we'll let it set up running. I'm kind of pleased with that. I was very dubious about getting it to go. I thought it might be difficult to peel the chassis, and I've no idea how good this will be. Let me just come up behind it there, past my guddle, we call my test track, and there we go. Looks very nice indeed, very nice indeed. So that is one of a pair of Mehano F7s that I purchased from eBay. Both of them seem to be working fine. The other one just needs a bit of a chassis structural repair. This one also needed repair to the side chassis, and could I maybe suggest someone has strained the chassis a wee bit? I'm not quite sure. I did notice that the spring engaging the motor to the drive box was removed, so perhaps someone has been having a look at it for some reason or other. Anyway, it's working out now, and I'm just going to put this to bed. Just before I finish, I'm pleased that I've got one of the Mehanos running. It really is lovely to run. It negotiates the points very well. It negotiates my sidings. So I'm actually quietly impressed. So that's part one. I'll leave the second one here to fix the brake, and we'll see how it goes. And if this works, you never know, there could be a Mehano part 2. Keep watching, folks, and find out. Thanks everybody for watching this. I hope you liked it, and if you did, give me a little favourable comment. If you haven't already done so and you like Engaged Repairs, you can always subscribe to my channel, Source 6233, the Society for the Restoration of Trains. And I'm not just stuck to Engage, I do basically anything that needs work. Anyway, I'm going to leave you this parting shot then of my Mehano Sant Fe F7 as it runs gaily round the track.